Buongiorno and welcome to Italian metal release review this time. This is something that you don't often find in a metal music that is kind of breaking the boundaries, going different directions than most bands, instead of just copying what is already established with so many ways, so many releases. This one is quite different. Now, this one is called Regardless of Me with the album Forms. Now, if you ask me, this is one of those album covers that is like less welcoming. That is to say, it couldn't interest me less than with a cover as this. I mean, what is this supposed to even, I know, tell about this music? This kind of abstract art would say, yeah, it's probably some progressive music or some weird machine-made music, some electronic music and all. But once you start going a little bit deeper inside to this release, just taking a look at these photos here, maybe then you will actually feel, okay, this could be metal release. I don't know about you, I would still say this is some experimental type of stuff, probably electronic or somewhat punkish given the font and all used. Well, there are no booklets, there are no lyrics, it's just that. Well, let's be honest about it. Once in a while you get to see those covers that are really speaking to you and you're already, wow, I want to listen to that stuff. And then you have these ones which are quite the different breed and less welcoming. Unfortunately for the band, I guess, this is not very good cover, nor it is very good an album. But this is Regardless of Me from Italy. Let's take a look at the band's metal archive site while I'll tell you a little bit more about the music. Now, this is a curious band, this 4-piece, in that respect that it's labeled here as what could be said, like it is said, melodic / gothic metal, where in fact this is exactly neither of those style purely. I mean, definitely you have some melodic parts, you have some kind of a parts which could be described as gothic, but it's mostly neither of these. I mean, it's kind of a groove metal where you have these more how to say it, not exactly gothic, but more atmospheric parts. Like really like, hey, sweet and all that stuff. And then you have these let's do some kind of stuff. Like it's some B-class mess hugas stuff without falling into the mathcore death metal kind of a combination. Now, when you have all these different ingredients together, it makes this album kind of a weird and chaotic in nature. Like, I'm not exactly sure which kind of audience you're looking for. If you want to go gent, you kind of have to go deep in that rabbit hole to really penetrate the ground to find the audience which is right there in the underground. I mean, kind of a easy gentish part here and there. That's not going to cut it. But the band sounds heavy and they clearly know what gent effectively is. Now, when we go to this more atmospheric and more beautiful, even kind of a gothic kind of a part, it gets very, very different. It's almost like a different band, and it changes over the album. Kind of an interesting angle to come to this one, but I don't know which kind of audience it really, really will work for. Now, Form is a curious beast. It runs for only 33 minutes, and as such, it doesn't really bore you. Not first of all because of the length, but obviously because of the change as well. But this kind of reminds me of a Swedish band Evergrey. Having these very atmospheric, even kind of melancholic parts, and then these gent parts. But this is not even near to that in quality and being interesting. What also makes this album quite interesting is that instead of your typical heavy metal vocals, be it the male or female ones, this is dominated by a female vocalist, which is clearly very talented, but kind of hard to get into. I mean, there's certain ways her vocals are not eerie, but a little bit like, what the hell is going on? I mean, sometimes it feels like she's over trying, to get those boundaries broken and do something very different. I kind of like that ambition what she's having, but I really can't get into the vocal style too much. There is something that really rubs me the wrong way, but it just might be me, so don't take my word for that. There are also male parts which are more like, like a little bit of a grunting here and there, and I don't know why they are even there. They are not really good, even if they're not annoying. It's more like a seasoning you don't really need to have. Now overall, because this is so chaotic and diverse in nature, it's really hard to say, once again, if this is really something very promising or just an odd release. For me, it doesn't really work. I like some of the stuff here, but then again, there are also parts which, especially in the beginning, which I feel is like I don't know, kind of a too modern metalcore, new metal kind of a gen-sounding combination of things, which don't really work for the favor of the band, in my opinion. It seems like this is all kind of different ideas put into one album, and see if at least one of those attempts really stick to you. So, interesting release, but not so much a good one. I would say mediocre plus, if you will. It sounds good in the terms of production, so given that, band knows what they're doing. But when it comes to the songwriting, it's too much all over the place. Now, if you still think you're for this kind of stuff, go ahead and check it out. Links will be provided in the description box. And if you don't like it, well, at least you were warned. Thanks for watching the review. Take care and bye-bye.